When I was just 5 years old, my father was taken away from me, hauled off to prison. My little 5-year-old brain, no idea why. All I knew in my little brain that my mentor was gone. That man that I looked up to, showing me the ropes, was suddenly unavailable. No more learning hands-on experiences with my dad. He was gone except for the random visits we got to make. My poor little brain just suddenly felt like I had no one to build Lego with. So I started solving problems. I love to hop on a computer. Yes, I had a Tandy and I typed in MS-DOS. When you play the game Space Quest, you're like, turn right. You actually have to type the thing. Really good at problem solving. Without anyone showing me the ropes, I just kind of made my way through life, figuring things out, tinkering, toying around. Mom was busy, incredibly affectionate and nurturing, but busy making ends meet. And then throughout my teenage years and beyond, I constantly felt like I was trying to fill a gap. It was a big gaping hole. Somebody show me the ropes. I was constantly in my head saying, I need a mentor, I need a mentor, I need a mentor, I need a mentor. I wanted to find somebody who challenged me, who showed me the ropes, who told me how to solve problems, how to build a business, how to lead, and just develop who I was becoming. And I found lots of mentor seasons I was in, but one stands above them all. And when I shifted into starting my own business, this man, he gave me a platform, and he asked the most potent questions of them all that made me realize so much birthed from this little 5-year-old experience for me and other stuff from my wife. And he gave us the gift of sharing in an interview with him on stage in Colorado at his You Are the Brand conference. And I just want to lay that up to you. Enjoy this incredible little 15-minute moment that I had with my mentor and the meaning that it brought forth. Speaking into why we started this thing. He's the one who challenged me to launch this YouTube channel. And here we are based on that challenge and that moment on stage so he could really hold us accountable. Without further ado, enjoy.
I'm excited to introduce two friends of mine, Dwayne and Becky Zingale. Zingale. I got to know Dwayne because he joined a mastermind with me about 4 years ago. He's still in it. He hasn't gotten sick of me yet. We've been through a lot of different phases of life together. Then I realized that Becky, his wife, went to school with a bunch of people I know in upstate New York, which was like, what? How did that happen? And Dwayne and I have worked on a bunch of marketing projects together. If you listen to my podcast at all, you've probably heard Dwayne here and there. If you were in the You Are the Brand course, you guys definitely got to meet Dwayne because he shared a little bit of his backstory there. And I wanted to have them come up in front of us because they're doing some really special things and applying a lot of the things that we talk about in personal branding outside of quote unquote business and outside of clients. And I've gotten to talk to a lot of you throughout the course of the event, and you've all been so kind, and I don't think any of you are going to actually tell me to my face this event sucks. So I have 100% positive feedback rating right now. But what I have heard is a lot of you saying, I appreciate how different all the people who have been sharing have been, because it actually opens up the possibilities of what you can do with a platform. You just learn storytelling and you just step out with boldness to share your story and to share your passion and answer those questions. You know, what ticks you off, what breaks your heart, what's the big problem you're trying to solve. So I know Dwayne mostly as a marketer, and then he and Becky wrote a children's book. Honestly, who wrote it? It's mostly you, right? Okay, yeah.
It's 100% me.
Yeah, it's
I tried to get him to help.
Yeah, he just did the landing page or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's good for.
And he's a marketing consultant.
He's a marketing
so he tells
consultant
me what to do
to the
sometimes,
book. Let her use speaking to the mic. No, it's he was hogging the mic again. You know, that's what he did. All right. So, tell us a little bit about your family, kind of some of the the backstory to writing this book.
Sure. Are we good? Good. Can't hear myself. So we all kind of have this moment that in life that it seems like suddenly everything you were doing culminates to, oh, oh, oh. So we had this moment a little over a year ago. We were featured as a docu-series on Born Different. I was, backstory. I'm Mr. Potato Head. I fall apart. I took a bike crash a year ago, and I'm still missing an ear because COVID made the process a bit weird. And so when we were featured on that, I thought, oh, no big deal. We'll say yes, do the little thing. They have a little channel. 1.4 million views later on YouTube alone. I don't even know what the numbers were on Facebook, Snapchat. You kind of had this epiphany moment of like, oh, I have a story, and my family has a story. My children have a story. And apparently, people find this story inspiring. We heard all these comments. Hope. Oh, wow. Even though I might have some genetic syndrome, I can have kids too. And there was this moment of, oh, we need to create something that embodies this belief that you can be wonderfully different. You can be born different. And we realized we wanted to create a children's book and really embody me as Exhibit A, but really our children and our children's friends who all come from the special needs community, but take a different approach. And that's kind of where.
So, Becky, what kind of inspired the content? The book is called Wonderfully Different. Can we hold it up for everybody? Wonderfully Different, Wonderfully Me. We're going to do our best to blow up this book and share it with all our networks, but share a little bit about the backstory on...
Yeah, so when I was a teenager, my older sister got up out of her wheelchair and walked. Growing up, my story was always like, my older sister was sick, my little sister was a baby, I'm the neglected middle child. But even though my sister's illness was like a defining part of our childhood, it didn't define who she was. She was just a normal kid who happened to use a wheelchair to get around until that day that she got up and walked after we prayed for her at youth group. And recently I started reading some of the children's books that we had as children, started reading them to my own children. And I realized a lot of them feature people in wheelchairs. I'm like, I think my parents did that intentionally. I had no idea, but we had all these children's stories with wheelchairs, and it was just normal to us. And so I read the story of Heidi, because that's a classic, so you should read it. I was reading it to my kids, and I didn't remember it at all. But there's a character who's in the story who's in a wheelchair, and she went to stay with Heidi. And just being in the sunshine and fresh air, rejuvenated her body, and she was able to walk. And then when her dad came to pick her up, she walked to meet him. And I saw my sister like that day at youth group when my mom came to pick us up, and she walked to meet my mom. And I just realized how powerful it was to be able to see yourself in the story like that. So I wanted our own kids to be able to see themselves in stories because Ariasha, our younger daughter, looks like her dada. So we started buying books with sign language and hearing aids. And she would complain. She's kind of feisty. She's like, that is not what my hearing aid looks like because they have a unique type of hearing aid. So we're like, okay. And yep. So Bernice said yesterday that opportunities come disguised as obstacles. It's like, well, this is a problem. Like, we need children's books that have this type of hearing aid and kids who have facial differences. So we're going to write it. And by we, I mean me. So
true story.
Yeah.
Now, thanks, first of all, for sharing all that. It's like, okay, I know people are going to start crying soon. Can you go a little bit deeper into what breaks your heart? Like when you see kids, you've mentioned a little bit about the kids and wanting them to be able to see themselves in that. Share a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So Marissa said yesterday that we can either be a victim or a victor. And I think it's tragic when kids see themselves as just a victim of their circumstances. So I wanted not just my own daughter, but for all kids who are born wonderfully different, just to be able to see themselves represented in a story and not just see their differences represented, but to see the good things about who they are and who they can become.
Dwayne, how about yourself? Becky writes the book. It's kind of based on you in some ways, obviously, right? What about for you? What kind of grieves you? What kind of gets at your core? What ticks you off?
Yeah, so something that really ticks me off actually goes again to a root story in my childhood. At 6 years old, I was thrust into the school of the deaf. And, this kid has to learn sign language. And all of a sudden, I was defined as, no, you belong in this community, right? We were just told, right? You get told to belong in these boxes when we want, and I think we're wired. to actually define our journey. And so much that gets to me and that I had to go through was actually shedding the identity of, oh, I am TCS. I am my syndrome, Treacher Collins syndrome. I am hard of hearing. I am limited because of all these features. When actually, none of you are ever going to forget me because I took my ear and my glasses off and I have the most memorable face you've ever seen. I have a unique advantage. I'm wonderfully different, right? And that's a bit of part of that journey, and I really, really, really hate it. And I know parents never do this intentionally, but we get this idea of, oh, well, I got to find the solution, and all of a sudden, right, Tony, right, well, I got shoved in the special needs class, and you're now suddenly defined by, oh, that's a special needs kid in the special needs classroom, and he'll always be special needs, instead of, hey, this is a special kid who offers something special. And I really, really just, you hear me get passionate, right? I want to see children see who they are and what they bring to the table. I was talking, I can't remember your name. You're taking photos, right? And you're like, these autistic kids I work with are some of the most special, caring, and they have this gift that no one else in the world can give us. And all these syndromes, and we're not defined by it, but it does define our journey. It plays into that, and it's a gift that everyone from diverse special needs backgrounds for us, but any of us, can lay up and really tell. And that's why I get so excited about this book, is because of the community we can build around it of people who can raise up children who believe in who they are instead of finding out 40 years later.
Kate, you mentioned the community you guys are building. Can you tell us a little bit about what that looks like for you guys?
Yeah. So, amazing thing about Mike is he'll never let you go unchallenged on making a pivot when he sees you're unsatisfied or unfulfilled. I have a decent funnel agency, right? I'm really good. I'll automate your entire marketing system. But, I start talking, well, Dwayne, what do you really want? And of course, Mike knows that I've had a million view docu-series that we got featured on. We had amazing publicity. Clearly people need it. So what would it look like to build a community around this moment, around what breaks your heart, what pisses you off, to really come and be parents who believe in who these children can come? Whether it's a book like Heidi, where a child gets up and walks for the first time, right? Caused her sister to believe. And how can we create a community for these special needs, more parents to come together and hear stories of the amazing gifts that these children bring? And a core message of the whole Wonderfully Different, Wonderfully Me, if you read through the book, there's a feature of diversity of needs, including my youngest daughter happens to just be the super sibling. We all have a gift of...
Our older daughter.
Our older daughter.
I wanted to see myself in a book.
Yeah.
And my other kid. So.
And so that, yeah. And so that.
Yeah, I wanted to see myself represented in the book because often the siblings do get forgotten, and we didn't want to forget our older daughter either. So we're in the book. Well, she's in the book as a sibling.
So as Mike laid up yesterday, I've now been challenged to start a YouTube channel and really run with this as a community in a completely different space, in a completely new way, but bringing this message of hope to children to be wonderfully different and wonderfully me, whether they be in the hard of hearing community, the autistic community, and really parents. Like, you get any parent who's had this, or if you know somebody in your life, it's suddenly thrust upon you. It's not like you expect to have a kid with Down syndrome. It's not like you expect to suddenly have to get hearing aids. And so it's just a world of sudden pain, sudden challenge, sudden, holy crap, what do I do? And we're just on the journey of figuring it out, but what greater than a community of parents on the journey, figuring it out with one core value to make sure our kids believe in who they can be for the world.
Isn't that awesome? Give these guys a hand. It goes without saying, but I'm just going to say it. You guys have a worthy message that should be spread and shared. Like, how many of you would agree, right? And this is by no means to minimize anyone's journey, but throughout the course of the last 2 days, we've touched on, hey, are you worth it? And some of us are like, I don't know. But we see the Zingalis and like, oh yeah, they're worth it, right? And I hope you guys see that in yourselves. And so what's sort of like the vision, the big, hairy, audacious goal for the book? What would you love this book to be? A bestseller? All right. We'll
Yes, future bestseller right here.
Okay.
And you all know us before we're famous.
Yeah. So give us the details. It's out. It is available. The launch. Kind of what's all that looking like?
Yeah. So we did a soft launch last year. It's out by our hands only at this point. And our publisher will be releasing kind of the official launch. If you're like, oh, I know Amazon, so that'll come in June. We'll be doing kind of a big push again come June when our publishers pushes the button, puts it on Amazon, puts it in Barnes & Noble, and the whole 9 yards. And we'd really love to get it out there. And I think another big, hairy, audacious goal is this book should be in every therapist's, especially child therapy's office, right? And that's a moment. We heard a story not too long after getting into one of our occupational therapist's office. She had a gal crying. She's like, oh my God, my child is in this story. And just the power of seeing another tool that a therapist can really bring, or many other forms of, I'm forgetting the word, children doctors. So I think that would just be really powerful to see it get into those hands, because they can really carry that message when they're just the vessel of education.
So there it is. I know you have a landing page here that you built. Of course, you built the landing page.
This is a slide. So I have an amazing designer, but this was kind of on the spot. Hey, Dwayne, what do you think about doing this afternoon? So on that QR code, you can get the coloring book that we did alongside the book. We usually just give it out when we sell the book. But that also has the Born Different video on it. So if you're like, oh, what is this million-view video? I went ahead and embedded it on there. You can all watch it and cry your eyes out. I'm like, oh, this is so powerful.
See our cute kids.
Yes.
See our cute kids on the video.
Yes, definitely. You can love on my children from afar, or if you ever meet them, they too love hugs, per Daniela's guidance. And just we saw it earlier, right? There's nothing greater than that legacy of children. We saw 2 kids get up here yesterday. I don't know about you, but I was ready to burst out in tears. I was like, oh my God, that is what it's all about. But you can hit that landing page, and if you want to buy the book, it's on wonderfullymebooks.com. If you do download the coloring book, because I'm a funnel builder, that's the next step, right? I'm going to say, hey, buy the book, right? Since you want the coloring pages, you're watching the video, great opportunity to buy the book. If you have a child with special needs in your family, or if you know a family with special needs, it really has been a powerful book to those who've put it in their hands thus far. We'll be home on Thursday, and so if you do buy it, it will ship Thursday, Friday next week.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to make an ask of this community. If you can in any way get word out about Dwayne and Becky's book, if you know anyone who is working in child therapy, psychology, any of those fields, or in education, anyone know anyone in these realms, just raise a hand. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to have the next panelists come up, but we're going to take a 10-minute break. And I'd love for you guys to just, can you guys meet people by the coffee station?
Yeah.
And then maybe if any of you are willing to, say, hey, I think I know somebody, just go up to Dwayne and Becky, exchange contact info, whatever's easiest for you. And let's help them get this message out into the world, yeah? All right. Guys, thank you.
We are prolific readers, so a great gift as an author is a bookmark. So if you want a bookmark, you can color on the back and make it your own. We've got plenty of them. Take as many as you want.
All right. Okay, let's get up for Dwayne and Becky. All right, why don't you guys head over to the coffee station.
Hey, if you want to be a part of this journey of laughter, hilarity, skits, you just kind of saw what we're all about, what my wife and I are all about. We're here to bring advocacy, to be your confidant. We want to build a community of parents raising confident and compassionate children. How do you stop bullying? Well, you gotta give the bullies some confidence and compassion just as much as the ones being bullied need confidence and compassion. It goes all around. I have a lot of different takes, having been bullied and yes, even being the bully. Join us on this journey. Subscribe to the show. and you'll get all sorts of hilarity that ensues. My wife and I are not ones to hold back on poking fun at one another. It's just who we are. If you like The Office, you're gonna like us. We like to think that we're Jim and Pam. Who guessed? Join us on our Lego journeys. Be sure to leave a comment. Tell us, how can we advocate for you in your journey? We want to be able to jump in and create content to come around and build a community that rallies around one another in these special needs, in these disabilities, in these struggles, both mental and physical, that display themselves. We're here for you. Subscribe, click the bell icon. Be sure to leave lots of comments and join us on this journey